Hi guys, my name is Walt Bayless. Welcome to the Ultimate Street Fighting Systems Combat 2 series. This is tape 1. We're going to be working on takedowns and throws. And more importantly, to a lot of you that are just finding out about what jiu-jitsu is, establishing a clinch in order to get those takedowns and throws. With me today is going to be my partner and assistant, Darren Lopez. And we're going to be showing you guys how to start from just the basic street fighting position where you're standing up, getting the action's about to hit, and get into a safe position and use this jiu-jitsu. For those of you that don't know what jiu-jitsu is all about, it's just about addressing a fight from a more realistic perspective. The fact is that about 95–98% of all real fights are going to end up on the ground. And that's disturbing to a lot of people that have been working with a lot of stand-up stuff. But don't be frustrated. This stuff's a piece of cake. In fact, it's going to be a lot easier to learn it today, and I'm going to show you how simple it really is. What we're going to start with is basic position here, when you've got your guard up here. Now, the number one question I get, when they see all the moves and things on the ground, they're excited, they're impressed, they feel them. The biggest concern for everyone is getting to that position right here. And let me tell you, after 23 years of experience, it is the scariest part, but it's the fastest and easiest part, okay? So what I want you to do, I want to get you in there as quickly and safely as possible. Okay, when you start, okay, standing up, you want to have your body as relaxed as possible. Now remember, the whole idea is in martial arts, you're either getting hit or you're not getting hit. It doesn't matter what you do in between, okay? I either want to be too close to get hit effectively or too far away so the stuff doesn't land. Now, in between that is the danger zone. So, if you get preoccupied, and it's up to each individual practitioner to decide what they want to do, preoccupied with blocking and tapping and parrying punches and kicks and things like that, you're going to get yourself in a little trouble. And those who have done some live sparring or some full contact fighting know that. If people ask me all the time, hey, Walt, man, if you rush in, aren't you going to get hit? Yeah, you're going to get hit. It's a street fight, gang. That's the whole idea. If I get hit, I want it to be 1 or 2 times, okay, in an awkward position for him to hit me, rather than sit there and take 12 rounds of abuse. Okay, that's the philosophy behind jiu-jitsu training. So the first thing I want to let you work on doing is get back with your partner, establish a good fighting stance here, and I want you to relax and take it slow. Whenever you're doing these moves, do them nice and slow. You might want to find a pad too, okay, just a suggestion. But let me show you something here. When a guy's going to throw a shot at you, don't start full speed. I guarantee you're not quite ready yet. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. It doesn't really matter. See, this is going to be a lot. You don't have to work with gloves. When a punch is going to come in here, do it slow, but I want your partner to focus on this. It may seem silly, but it's really important. I want him to have a lot of intent. I want the guy to think about, hey, if he's going to hit me in the jaw with a big right hand, a big Mississippi powerhouse, bang, all right? I want him to think, I'm going to drill him, I'm going to drill him. Even though it's slow motion, okay? He's going to come in, boom, okay? Now, the reason being, when his body movement is going to react to the way his mindset is, if he's got it in his head that he's in a real fight, he's really going to hit you, really try to lambaste you, then everything's going to react accordingly, and it's going to help you with your training. You're going to learn how to understand that. So here we go. The first thing I want you to learn how to do is get a nice, easy fight stance here. I'm going to have my lead hand, okay, split in the middle of his body. I have it slightly extended. This does 2 things. Number one, it kind of distracts him here and throws him off. He feels like he's got to work around this punch. He wants to, extend it, slap it, move around it. It's kind of a pain, okay? Besides that, I'm a little out of range, and this helps me check my range, okay? So I know if I'm out here, I know I'm in a safe distance. If I'm in here like this, I'm cramped up and I'm in trouble, okay? I either want to be all the way in or all the way out. Those are those 2 things we're going to do. Now, the first thing we're going to work with is dealing with, you can work with any number of combinations. Like I said, we're not sit there and try to tip-tap and deal with every little thing, one piece at a time. We're going to be dealing with, it doesn't matter what he does, so it's going to be like kind of a martial arts squeegee. We're just going to erase all his techniques. We want to take him into a whole new playing field. We're not going to play his game. Now, but the first way to practice is either you can work with a jab, back here, or a right hand. You can even do a combination, okay? You're going to relax, and I want you to just kind of relax and watch his movement. When he gets ready to punch, you'll see changes, subtle changes, and his expression, his stance, his shift, his breathing even. So the first thing we're going to do is change levels, okay? I want to give him a target to hit here. That's what he's thinking about. Boom. That's what he's going to be focusing on, all right? Now, in a street fight, people don't tend to work the body and have a big strategy. They want to go for the head. They're head hunters, and, that's the way to learn how to do it. Inside. Now, as soon as we do this, we're going to change levels. I move out of the way. So he throws a punch, I want to change levels. As soon as I get the first sign, things going to happen. As I change levels, I'm going to cover. Okay, here it goes. He comes and hits. I'm covering inside here. Now, we call this jiu-jitsu the horn of the bull. That means I just want to act like a ram, and I want to slightly pinch my elbows together. This will prevent any knees or uppercuts or things like that. So as soon as I change levels, I'm covering right up. Now, all at once, I'm going to change levels, come in, and as soon as I hit, I need to maintain contact. The biggest misconception people have about grapplers and the grappling arts is that you need to come in like a grappler, like, you know, like a pro wrestler or something like that. You don't need to walk in there with your whole body wide open and things, just taking a bunch of shots in order to grab. That's nonsense. A lot of you people that are watching this tape right now have already studied a great deal of the other martial arts, or are looking forward to doing so, and their value is immense. And one of the things you want to remember is that punching and kicking is a small portion of the fight, but it's one that, you know, that needs to be recognized, because getting punched is no fun. Nobody's punch-proof. So when you're coming inside, to have that extra security, you want to practice changing levels, moving inside the guy, but keeping a cover while you're doing it. People are so eager to grab sometimes they fan out too early, okay? Making themselves vulnerable to knees and kicks and punches and things like that. It happens all the time. However, the chances are that you're going to be all right anyway. But to be the best possible clinch artist that you can be, you need to go ahead and cover up. Okay, so quickly again, we're going to hit. You just change level to cover up and move inside. When I make contact with him, right here, I want to maintain that contact and keep pushing. Another big mistake is to hit and come off and try to go back to your takedown again. Wrong. You want to come inside, hit, and return that level back up inside. Don't stay bent over. It's too much work for you down there. As soon as you hit, get up inside and you'll establish a clinch, okay? Now, about established it again. Now, I've changed levels, dropped, moved inside, and established a clinch. Here we go again. He throws a punch. Come up inside here. Keep him right back down. You'll establish a nice clinch. And then sometimes you'll get a nice easy tackle. A lot of times the guy will stay up. I'm going to show you 3 different ways this can happen, okay? One way right here, as soon as he throws a punch, I drop, boom, right inside here. I'm going to come up, and I'll be on the side of him just like this. Here, on the side. I'm going to watch up at that far arm. That's going to be his little fancy punch arm, okay? What I'm going to do is just reach across here and take that wrist. I don't want to go right for the wrist. I'm going to follow his shoulder down. So he's going to be punching me in the face. Inside here, I'll be blocking myself, sliding down to the wrist, and establishing my position, relaxing here. Okay, this is the first clinch we're going to work from. Okay, from this position, one of the easiest takedowns is the basic hip throw. Okay, in order to do that properly, as soon as we're walking inside, one of the things he'll do is keep his hips back. Okay, like this, trying to keep his balance. I'm going to drop this down here. All I'm going to do is step back, right in front of him here. A lot of times he'll do that work for me. Okay, he'll step behind me, hoping to throw me back over. Yeah, we're going to use that. So as he does, I step that clinch, he steps behind me here, and down we go. He's like that. Now, when you're throwing in jiu-jitsu, it's a little different when you're throwing in judo, okay? We don't want to stay up, we don't want to make it look clean, we want to stay close and tight. Inside here. As soon as he steps behind, here. Now, sinking your hips clear through, like most of the martial arts books say to do, is a little unrealistic, okay? It puts you at an awkward angle, and I'm overextended back this way, okay? And I've seen more than 1 or 2 martial artists get in trouble trying to do that. All right. So, instead, I'd like you to use your thigh, okay? You can even lift it a little bit if you'd like to, okay? Another judo-type movement. So as I step in front here this way, I just want to bump his hips with my thigh, and I can even lift it here. In a good position. And on the ground we go. Now, do this slowly, starting from the standing position again. You can use your distraction if you want. You can kick low. Pow. Drop. I'm covered inside here. I open up as I hit him. Like a cannonball. Boom. Open up. Here. He's going to be punching me in the face. Start the shoulder. Work down to the wrist. If he steps behind me, does the work for me. I'm all set for the throw. This hand back here is going to punch. I don't want to try to lift him. I'm going to step in, swat, jump underneath him, and punch. There we go. All of them staying tight. Okay. From the other side here, on the clinch. Inside here, step in front, easy. Here. Now, that headlock here, don't need to worry about that. Let your hips do the work. Don't try to resist this. Ease in, squat, inside. Punch here. Okay. Next, you're going to work on the same clinch. All right, now, again, from this position, the second move we're going to work with is still from this basic clinch here. Now, we've noticed that sometimes the guy will drop his hips and keep his feet in front of us, like this, making it impossible to throw. A lot of people feel like they're about to get thrown here. It's a real common reaction, okay, for a lot of grapplers to sit and try to throw from here. They'll step in front, big mistake. You're going to have to be sensitive to where his body placement is. And here, it's not a good idea to try to throw him. Before, his foot was way back behind us, and he was leaning over. An easy lift. Okay, now, he's decided to come in front of us here. Now, a good wrestler, or a judo fighter, or something like that, or somebody with just good balance, a lot of times will just keep their weight right in front of here. Okay? Wait to see what your move's going to be. They're probably expecting a lot of different things, but one of the things they won't expect is this next move. It's a really simple technique, all right? All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my outside leg and slide it in close to his foot here, okay? And I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit down. Step and sit. The leg behind him is going to go straight. It's going to act like a big log he's going to trip over backwards. And I'm going to do this smoothly. Watch, all at one time. Step, sit, back, over. And he goes with it right in the mount position here. A simple position. Okay. Back up again. From the clinch, here. All right? One smooth motion. Just sit and glide into them here. You'll be wrestling around, you'll feel all kinds of panic inside here. When you're inside, you can relax. The punches and kicks that you see on Kung Fu Theater aren't going to hurt you right now. So just take it easy, okay? I'm going to drop down and hold with him. Here. Mounted I am. That's simple. Okay. One more time from the other side. Here. Establishing the clinch. Start with the shoulder, move down the wrist. His hips are too close. No throw. Sit inside. Into the mount again. Okay. Remember, all these moves, once again, you want to start off with them very, very slow. The big deal here, as in all of your moves in jiu-jitsu, you want to concentrate on tightness. Getting close. Don't do your moves out here. Okay? Staying close. The less space he has to hurt you, the less you're going to get hurt. Okay. Next. Now, from the same chair, probably the most common and simple takedown. It's just a body lock. With some people, you'll be able to reach around and get a 2-on-1 position on his outside wrist here. An excellent place to be. For your larger opponents, like the correct thing, your larger opponents, you reach around and take his waist, okay? For what there is of it. Now, you reach around here. Now, I'm going to drop inside like this, and my leg that's behind that I just tripped with is going to hook. Okay. Now watch closely. As I hook, I want to pull with that leg. I don't want to just trip him with it. I want to pull it underneath me. That's going to keep my hips close to his knee. I don't want to be floating off the top of him here. So I'm going to turn, hook here. Hook, drive forward and lift. And on the mount we land again. Okay? One more time. We've established the clinch here. Now, I'm going to hook. I'm going to have you turn this way just a little bit so they can see what I'm doing. Now watch as I hook him. I'm going to pull his leg straight between my legs. Here. And on the mount. Just like that. Simple takedown. What's important, when we decided to do these tape series, we wanted to make sure that the public knew exactly what was going to work. A lot of jiu-jitsu tapes out there right now are trying to show you something that's going to make you excited. Now, we assumed that you wanted something you could use. This is going to be the most entertaining thing in the world, but when you get together with your partners, your friends, your students, and try these moves, especially under sparring conditions, you're going to find they work. They'll give you a lot more pleasure than being a part of kabuki theater. So inside here, once you wrist around, keep your weight low, your body tight. Inside here, my back leg, gonna hook behind, drive right through him here. And mount. Nice simple technique. Okay, next. Another very common clinch. We're starting from here. Okay, as we come inside, it's called the over-under. Now, the over-under is just that, it's over-under. As I pop inside here, change levels, come inside, bam, and come up. I'm going to find myself in the middle of a flurry of punches in a position where one of his arms is under mine and one of my arms is under his. Very common. Now, when doing this, keep your head down, relax it. Your lead leg, I kind of tilt my knee just a little bit, just to keep a sense of where his lead leg is. Also, it keeps me from receiving a lot of unnecessary groin shots. I think all groin shots are unnecessary. Personal opinion. When we're inside here, I relax. Now, from this position, you've got a whole bunch of different options. I'm going to show you the ones that are the easiest to learn and the most effective. And they always run together like that. The easiest ones are always the most effective. The more complex we get, the bigger the possibility they won't work at all. Okay, so inside here, in the over-under position, a lot of people expect to throw again because my arm's underneath. It feels like I'm going to throw it. From this position, the over-under position here, your opponent will spend most of his time keeping his hips way back because it feels like he's going to get thrown. It feels like you're going to throw him. All right? That's the most common reaction people think of grappling. They're going to think of throwing like this. And like we talked in the beginning, that hip throw which is a basic movement, is very difficult to get because people are ready for it. It feels threatening. So inside here, we're going to take a different approach to the over-under. We're going to come up and underneath his defenses. The way I'm going to do that is first by resting inside here, okay? I'm going to reach back with this hand here that's underneath my armpit and grab his wrist here, like this. So watch how easy this is. Reach back, grab the wrist. As I drive the wrist down, I'm going to drop with it. My shoulder starts off at his shoulder level, touching. That feels comfortable and safe to him. We're on even ground. I want to change that. As I drop it down, I also want to drop my shoulder. About down, probably to his forearm. Lower if you can. Here like this, drop it down, and away I go from inside here. Now, I've just changed my levels again. Another extremely important part of taking somebody down. Inside here, I drop, change my levels, and I'm looking for the near leg. I'm going to block it here, but I'm not going to take him down. I'm going to use my leg to help me, okay? So as I block here, my rear leg comes around, and in a walking motion, we're going to go through him here. Inside there, and drive him over. Let's try it again, all at once. From the over-under position again, I'm going to reach back, drive the wrist down, and drop it. Take the leg, hook, and end up in the mount again. The first mistake you're going to make here, when hooking that leg and pulling somebody over, is releasing the pressure as the guy begins to fall. What that's going to do is going to open you up for a groin shot. So instead, a lot of people hook here and walk, let the guy fall, and then try to mount. Okay, big mistake there. The reason being his knees are wide open. Instead, just like we did the first leg hook, hold it in tight to you, pull with it constantly. So drop inside here. Okay, to recap the whole move, starting from the over-under position, a natural clinch. This may happen with or without your approval, but you're going to end up here sooner or later, okay? And I think you guys are starting to realize that as you begin to spar more realistically. So, to recap this whole move again, bam, we're inside. Over-under here. We're shoulder to shoulder right now, but we're going to change all that so we can get a better angle on the guy and take him off his feet, regardless of how big he is. Back in, wrapped up here, ease back, find that wrist. Good, got a good position. I'm going to fire it down, and my body goes with it. Inside here, take that outside leg and drive through. And mount it. One last time, all together. Here we go. Over up inside, flip side here, working that baby down. And on top. Okay. Normally we take turns, say we had to sneak into the gym and do a video. Okay, now, next thing I want to work on. Every once in a while, you'll be able to throw a finishing move on straight from standing. Now, as a rule, I prefer to be on the ground to put my finishing moves on, okay? A lot of times, just the takedown by itself is going to be a finishing move. The reason being, if we're not on a wrestling mat, and the guy's not used to falling, he's probably going to get hurt enough where he won't want to fight anymore anyway. And so when people ask you if you're doing jiu-jitsu, how do you deal with 10, 20 people at a time? Well, you don't, but if you have to fight a bunch of guys, I don't know why you would, but if you had to, all right? And a takedown, you see, a clinch is a natural part of the fight anyway. What people don't understand is, if you're going to get grabbed and you're going to fall over with one guy, I can guarantee you it's going to happen with 3 guys. So, regardless of how many people you feel like fighting today, you have to realize a clinch is going to be a part of it. So, these takedowns will allow you to deal with opponents one step at a time like that. You still have room to strike. Inside here like this, you put yourself in a position where it's difficult for him to hit you. After you take him down, you don't have to go down there with him. So just to kind of brush on that. If I want to drop down here inside like that, deal with another guy, I'm gonna have a better chance of doing it. You can kick or punch, whatever, when you're on the ground, okay? But the first thing is, realize that nobody, no martial arts style or system, is gonna be able to deal with 5 or 6 guys any better than it's gonna be able to deal with 1. So, okay, we addressed that. Good. Everybody's gonna ask you that question. Now, over in here, what we talked about was getting a quick finish sometimes from standing, and I'll show you one you can get sometimes. We're gonna ease back here from the over-under position, guarding our groin, our knees sensitive here, plus with our weight on the guy. You notice when my weight's on him, it's gonna be more difficult for him to put any power to his knee. It's gonna be pretty cheesy, okay? Reach back to his wrist, I will. Drive it down. Now, I'm gonna push it in, because every He-Man out there is gonna pull it back out. And behind I come, underneath your hip. Now, As we grab the wrist, I'm going to stand, put my hips right into them here, and stand up. There's the finish. After I'm done, I can turn the corner, throw, or continue to take down. Okay, one more time from the clinch here. You guys will like this one. Drive it down, push it in, let the corner come up, and there it is. Okay, hangs himself. Slow-mo now. Let's try from the other side. I show the moves from both sides all the time, so it'll go into your brain from every possible angle. It'll help. Here we go, over under, reach back, grab the wrist, down it goes, inside, duck underneath. Hang on to that wrist. Bend it into you. Don't do out here. Bend it in. Get my hips underneath. And lift. Lift right there. Okay? A lot of times you can achieve that position without hanging on the wrist as well. Let me change the angle of that here. And watch. Down it goes. Underneath. And a lot of times just by grabbing, it'll get caught in the trough of my shoulder. Inside here. And I'll get the same position. So there's a simple takedown for you. Okay. Now, lastly, for those of you that love to throw, feel that you need to throw, hey, how many of you guys notice we don't have any gis on yet? Okay? I forgot to mention that too. This is really important. The reason why we don't have gis is because I want you to understand, I know you probably grasp this, but jiu-jitsu, you usually see a guy in a gi walking around, usually not from this country. Listen, it doesn't take 10 years to get to be a black belt, and you don't need to wear a gi when you practice. In fact, it's more important that you learn how to deal with a guy with just his body. After 23 years of martial arts, I've noticed that very few people I see on the street have gi on. So, and if they do, it's a sign that something's wrong. See, that we can avoid the whole fight. So what we're going to do is we'll stick to our t-shirts here, and you should practice that way too. It's more difficult to find good points of leverage and traction and get a good hold when a guy's got just a t-shirt on. So hopefully this whole series is going to be designed to do that. Very little jiu-jitsu fights talk about that. It's just not popular. Okay, the last hold we're going to work on from this position, this clinch, is a throw, okay? Now, a hip throw, like we said earlier, is probably out of the question. It's too easy for him to predict what you're going to do, is control your hips and so on, okay? This throw is like a shoulder throw, okay? The difference is, I'm not going to do it with my shoulder, all right? As I turn to use my hips as leverage to dump him over, I want to make sure that I catch underneath his arm with the crook of my own arm here. Obviously, you probably know enough about jiu-jitsu to figure out that turning your back to your opponent is not a good idea. So a shoulder throw is almost like putting yourself in a whole other position. It's not a good idea, so don't even think about doing it. Instead, use the crook of your arm. Keep your shoulder above his shoulder, okay? And you'll still have the leverage with your hips. As I drop back inside here, I'm going to fire my arm out that's behind him here and come underneath here this way. As I slam it up underneath here, I'm going to take a step. It's a little X step. 1, 2, okay? I'm going to drop down, then I'll come inside him. Watch here. Watch how I load him up on my hips. Here, 1, 2, and then load him up. Now, this throw is going to be easy because I'll find a lot of good traction just by rolling his arm into my body and pulling this tight inside here. When we put it all together inside here, as I step up, you've got an easy throw. Okay, one more time. From the clinch inside here, we feel his hips sinking back, having trouble getting. Now this is good. I'm going to come right underneath those hips here. Okay? I'm going to step in. Lead leg first, then this one's going to come back right behind it. Squat, pull him on me, load him up on my hips, then throw him over. Okay? So underneath, step, load him up here. Over inside we go. Okay. One last time. Darren wants to do it more, but we're going to go one time. Here we go. Wrap up inside here. Bam. Take him inside. We feel this energy. Bam. Over we go. Right over the top. Piece of cake. Now, all right, if those weren't fun enough, we're going to love some of these here. The last position you're going to find yourself clinched in, I think that's most common. You'll find yourself in a million crazy places like this. Okay, now, dealing with somebody clinching you in an odd way, we're going to go over in our Tape 5 series, so you'll see a lot of that, okay? But, over-under was this one we just went over. We went over from the side here. These are all very common. The last one is what we call a wrestler's tie-up, when you've got a hand on the head. Usually what will happen here is you'll each have a hand on the hand, back of the neck rather. The other hand will be on the back of his elbow or over the top here. And this is a common place. Your heads will be buried into each other, trying to work around, trying to look for good punches, still trying to control each other, like this. Okay, so from this position, one of the first things we need to do is learn how to deal with the arm around the back of our neck. This is limiting a lot of our motion, but it's also helping us here. So the first throw is very, very simple, okay? It's a lot like the one we just did, but it makes a little more sense. This one's tighter and more safe. Okay, here, wrapped up inside. I want to take this hand, either whether it's on the back of his elbow or not, move it up to his forearm, take the hand around the back of his neck, and slide it underneath here, okay? I'm not going to throw him straight over this time. Pull it into my chest, come inside here, up comes my shoulder, here. Now, I've got this against my chest, the whole bit of his arm, both these hands, thumbs and all, don't try to grab his arm. And on some guys, it's just not possible, okay? I'll keep my thumbs inside here, pull it tight into my chest, and roll it down like I'm doing a big power sit-up, okay? Not power sit-up. Look at this. Here we go, wrap, inside there, and it'll hammer you right over. Now see, you guys will think this is fake if you try it. When I grab here, underneath, I'm going to bend over. Now, I want to put some extreme pressure. See, if you're a super powerhouse, maybe this will be enough. But what I want you to do is get him over, all right? Get him over. Now we're going to use the throw. Without standing up, I'm going to take my leg that's nearest to him and step behind him, okay? This is not going to be a regular sweep. I don't want to lean back and try to hack his leg out. That undoes everything we just did. Here, we've got him levered over in a tough position. He has a difficult time throwing a good punch or knee because all his weight's coming down on one leg. So instead, I'm going to leverage over here, keep myself bent over, and step behind with the bent leg. Inside here. Now, as this leg pops straight, I will give a quick tuck with my upper body, and down he goes. Making it much easier to do. Okay? After all these throws, you're probably going to notice that you're wide open for a whole series of arm locks. If you'd like to train any of the throws or takedowns, let me show you something here that'll help you a lot. If you want to practice this. Reach up underneath here. Down he comes. Down he comes. Step. Then my arm lock works right in place. Okay, back again. From the wrestling tie-up. Inside. Deep, deep, deep. Here. Okay. One last time, slow motion. That was slow. You're all going to believe that? Yeah, let's speed up the cameras. Okay, here. Underneath, two hands. Right towards my chest. Pinch it tight, roll it down. Okay? Without standing up, take a bent leg step behind his knee. Inside here, a tight pull. Straight my leg goes. And down he goes. The arm lock portion, what about that? Okay. Here we go. Tight again, step, down. Now, as he's falling down, the arm is still up. This works with a shoulder throw or any other throw, any lock, where he lands on his side. You just take your knee and squat right here. And I want to step over, maintain control of his arm before I lay back. I see a lot of people laying back, and the guy sits right up with you. Big trouble. So as you land here, first thing you do is squat, control the arm, step first, and then pull him in. Easy arm lock. Okay. Next, there's the next. From the wrestling tie-up. Another way to deal with this arm is to totally not to deal with it at all. As I'm wrapped up here, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to duck under. He's really established himself in the back of my neck. I'm going to take this, drive it in, and what's the muscle man going to do? He's going to resist it. No, you can't do that to me. He'll pull it out. Bam, he'll fire it back out at you. As he does that, I'm going to drop and duck. So push in, inside here. Now, this is one of those neat positions when you've got an opportunity to make a standing or nearly standing finish. Okay, nice and light and slow. Here we go. In I come, he comes back out. As he comes back out, I'm going to help it up, and I'm going to drop down. Don't try to pull this over your head, okay? Don't try to pull this. It'll never happen. The guy's too strong, so you want to help out. You meet him halfway. As I lift up, I'm coming down underneath, and look up. Look up. That'll keep his arm where he wanted it. Right there. Now, after I turn the corner on him here, my hand that was already around his neck here is going to come over and meet the bicep of my left arm, or my right arm, whichever way I'm doing this thing. Here it comes, I'm up, comes through. I can meet my bicep if the guy's too big, like this. Go and lock your hand this way. I want to push with the side of my neck into his shoulder, okay? That's going to hit one of his carotid arteries on this side. My arm on the other side is going to hit the other side. Here. Make it a choke. It's a piece of cake. It's a simple shoulder choke. Now, like I said, if you're fighting 30 guys, you know, maybe you had a bad picnic or something, then you can go ahead and finish them standing. I prefer, however, like I told you earlier, to take them to the ground. So, as I push it in, like this, hang on to them here. They'll already start to be going out. This will also preoccupy him from anything too fancy, okay? In case he wants to blast you with some power chi or something here. Grab him, put that near side leg, then on the ground. On the ground, we can finish with the proper choke. We'll go over that later. But first, we got to get him there. Okay. So you've rushed into the guy. Things have gotten crazy. Okay? As soon as we're inside here, all right, the punches start flying. And I find myself in this position here. The over-under. It's very similar. Now, you guys will find out that things are a lot more wild and crazy, and I can show you what wild and crazy is, but I'm not going to be able to talk to you. So, trust me on this. He's inside here. Inside. Wrap it up. Hang it tight. Really push it with your head. Keep him close to your body. And down the floor, or you'll finish your choke. Okay, next. From the same riveting position, here, I'm going to work on a simple duck under the same way, but this is called the high crotch, all right? Now this is a popular throw, especially among samboists, where half the idea is to use your throw as a primary weapon. So, if you ever wanted to throw a guy so he didn't land well, this, and I didn't have to fall down at all. Yeah, I'm getting excited already, huh? This would be the throw right here, okay? This is a neat throw. Inside, we're using the same motion. In, okay? But as it comes out, I'm not going to duck underneath and just come behind him like I was before. This hand's coming off his head and going between his legs. See, already it sounds risky. Look at this. Yeah. Underneath here. Right between his legs this way. Now, I'm going to turn down slightly here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay? As I leverage inside, duck, boom, it comes out here. Now, as that hand comes between the legs, I'm going to meet that hand with this one. Okay? But I'm going to keep my body as one tight, powerful unit. I'm not going to break it up and extend yourself. Already we've already decided that was bad. So here, I'm going to turn the corner and keep myself tight. Like this. Now, here comes the fun part. Yeah, some of this stuff does take some strength. Everything takes some strength. Okay? And as you train more and more and more, you're going to find out that that strength will come to you. Don't try to look for moves that require no strength, because everything requires something. I mean, you got to flex a little bit when you put your pants on. Okay? And that's an absolute must in this system. All right? As I drive down here, duck, turn the corner, meet the hands, then I'm going to lift. Pull. Back. You can guess where he's going to land. On his head. Okay, so, not your buddy, huh? Here, I'll tell you something horrible here. This is great. When you're actually doing this thing, if you're talking about combat sambo and jiu-jitsu, all right, the actual techniques that we're going to teach and that a lot of the special forces guys are going to use, when you drop underneath here, this hand comes up and kind of scoops a particular element of your opponent and pulls it against the thigh. All right? That's going to preoccupy him. Remember, don't lift like this. All right? You'll get the super back injury. And you won't get taped too. Look at this. Pull it in here. Lift. Pop your hips in. Boom. Once he's up, I'm going to lift and tilt. Boom. And back down the head again. Simple high crotch. One last time. Go to the side so you can see. As we're working around the side here, pull him down, arm in, here, down, like this. That's the motion you want to get down. Turn the corner here, lift. Back down he goes. Easy stuff. Okay, now, again from the wrestling tie-up. We're going to go into another couple of throws here. These are real common and also very available to you, especially if the guy's really driving hard on you. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the guy's hips way back away from us here, like this. Now, inside here, he doesn't want us ducking under. Every time we touch his arm and try to drop, he's flinching. The whole thing's a big mess. This is a good surprise throw. Now, it's got a lot of good things available. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this throw here. As soon as I feel his hip drop back inside here like this, where we're lined up, okay? Instead, I'm going to step inside just like we're going to do a hip throw, but instead we're going to do a headlock, okay? This is a headlock throw. Inside here, I'm going to step with the leg that's opposite where his arm is. See, the one that's going to be inside. It'll feel natural, okay? I've got one arm extended around behind his neck. That's the leg that's going to step in and across, okay? Here we go. So I'm going to step in and across here, like this, through, boom, and sit out. And that's a simple headlock. Slow-mo. Okay. All right, again, inside here. We're worked up. I'm gonna fire this arm across and slide my hips underneath inside here. Sit out immediately. There's my headlock, just inside there. I'm gonna sit back. When I land on this one, just to hit on this, I want to sit my hips out. I think it's a good idea, personally, although you will see in some later tapes quite a few finishes from this position. I think a safer position is going to be back underneath this arm here. Okay, for those of you who don't understand jiu-jitsu, remember we don't want somebody climbing around on her back choking us, so if he's too close to her back for comfort. You can hold this position for a while if you're good, but it's better to be in a more controlled position. So, in this position here, really lay back and be aware of where you are. Good thing I don't weigh anything, huh? Okay, one last time from the other side, okay? Here, slow-mo again. Side wrapped up. Step in. Here, pulling these together. Boom. Sit out here. I can scoop this arm back and stay tight. Cozy. Okay. Now, finally, a move that has been outlawed in many countries. But the Bulgarians came up with it. It's not outlawed, guys. People take me seriously. Look, when I'm here like this, I'm going to sit, instead of coming inside, I'm going to act like I'm going to duck under, but all I'm going to duck under is my shoulder, here. Like this. That's all I want. It's not a lot to ask. Okay? Come inside here, push them aside, and lock my hands up here. Now, all right, hope you can hear me, because listen to this. My forehead goes into the bottom of his jaw here. See that little curve there? Whoever makes that angle, that's where it's going to go. It all works together. This is called the Bulgarian headlock. I already said that, didn't I? Look, here, underneath, in goes my head. And I pull my head and my hands together, okay? And his head's in the middle, okay, causing discomfort. Is that a proper term? Here, see, drop down, back inside. Now, as I pull in, I'm going to circle away from him and take him down inside here. So drop down, inside here, an easy mount. What the big deal about this position is, this is one of those PC moves. Nothing to do with computers, it's pain compliance, okay? And you'll see that. A pain compliance move just has a guy reacting to a bad position, okay? And in order to avoid that pain, he's going to put himself in a worse position, all right? And that's the cheapest and easy takedown. This is great for big, powerful people. Okay, you hang on. I don't care how big you are, this thing hurts. As a matter of fact, I remember working with a lot of little Russian guys, you know? Not a little, but I happened to be working with a 120-pounder, and he kept doing this to me, you know? Of course, I was only 5 years old, so look, as I drive underneath here like this, see? But I remember the forever. Back down the side, and there it is. The Bulgarian headlock. From the other side. For your viewing pleasure, Jared Lopez. Drop. So inside here, turn, and back down we go. Right inside there. Okay. Man, can we do some more of those? We can do more. Okay, and finally, from that same position, another standing finish. This is particularly effective if you're up against the wall. If you're having your opponent in the middle of a clinch and you've landed up against the wall. You don't need to be up against the wall, but you'll find this helpful, okay? You do the same move here. He's going to be looking for what? Right here. The big right hand special. This hand here is going to help me. As the hand comes back for the right hand, just look inside. Look right inside to his head here. So it goes back, and I'm right in position. This time, I want you to take your head, the corner right there in the front, instead of pushing up on the jaw for a takedown, you're going to push it in the side of the neck here, the carotid artery. Now, I can't lose when I use this little technique here. I see the esophagus here. I want to be at a 45-degree angle between that and the sternum. Right there. By pushing right there, all my chokes, everything I kind of think about right there. Not directly on the side or behind him, just at about a 45-degree angle here. As I push him there, my arm that's on the other side of his neck will be pulling in as well out of the standing choke. It's simple. So here comes that big right hand. It's an easy choke right there. You will love this one. It's simple. Show your family at Thanksgiving. Look at this. Here it comes. Big right hand. Inside. Yeah, he'll be passed out on his feet. Okay, guys. Now, what I suggest that you do is rewind this tape and start it over. When you train this, when you train your takedowns, I think you should always make sure you train both sides. When you're clinching, use gloves in slow motion. As you start to get more relaxed and comfortable, you'll be able to end them more quickly and easily, and you don't have to worry about getting hit. One of the bummers about training a clinch is, and you'll find this as you start to become a clinch enthusiast, is that the guy you're practicing with gets to hit you all the time. All you get to do is hug him, okay? So do train with gloves, train slow-mo. When the real thing comes, it's a natural process anyway. You just want to make it more natural for yourself and be more effective at it once you get there. A clinch is inevitable. The takedowns will become automatic. The important thing to do is to train them with varying levels of resistance, i.e. percentages you have to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 100% on you at different times. Practice both sides. And when you're doing this tape, a good idea is to watch one of the moves all the way through, okay? Then get with your partner, train him, okay? At least 20 times each side. If you go through the whole tape that way, you're going to be exhausted. You'll also be very good. I suggest picking about 3 or 4 moves and drilling them to death. Then another 3 or 4. And as you move along like this, it will be a very, very short time before you'll start to feel extremely comfortable with takedowns. Don't let anybody tell you this is a mystical, impossible martial art. You have to be from another country or take 10 years or any of that garbage. This stuff's simple, it's direct, it works. It's already been working with or without anybody else's sign of approval. So take this thing, train them a little bit at a time, and we're going to see you for tape 2. We're going to work on some neat arm locks, okay? Thank you very much, guys.